All right, so for the last year, I've been extremely bullish on Mocaverse. It's a project that I talked about back in 2024 and said it was my top altcoin to buy for July of 2024. And since then, this project has made some major developments, and recently they came out with a huge announcement that I think is a game changer. And if you look at Moca Network, it's a project that's in the top 200 by market cap, currently ranked number 165. It has over a $230 million market cap, sees a ton of volume every day, and is available on the biggest exchanges in the world. So when they recently came out and said on their X that the identity season has arrived, and they announced Moca Chain, which they said is a modular chain agnostic EVM compatible layer 1 purpose built for identity and data utilizing zero knowledge proofs for privacy, powered by Moca, I was extremely excited because this is a project that I have been talking about and following on the channel for over a year now. And with this new development, I think it's a real game changer because the global identity verification market is expected to hit $33.9 billion by 2030. And if you're looking at this entire space, we can also see that ID as a service global market size is worth $5.5 billion in 2022 and is projected to reach $21.4 billion by 2048. We've seen a massive increase in deepfakes. So with Mocaverse and their new Moca Chain attacking this sector, I think it presents a massive opportunity for Moca to be a huge gaining project over the next couple of years. If you look at Moca Network, the project has been growing and expanding. They have major partnerships all across the board. You could see that they have, backing and partners with Moca brands, one of the biggest names in the tech and crypto space. And so now with this development, you can see they talked all about exactly what Moca Chain is and how it's going to benefit Moca token. So you can see right here, it says Moca Chain is where users and businesses collaborate, build, and grow together. It says as a business or builder, you get immediately access to all the tools needed to build identity protocols, access distribution, monetize data, and verify users. This is something that's very important because with data in the crypto space and just data in general, people are looking for more decentralization, knowing that it's not just all sold and bought by large corporations and that your data is like completely secure. So with this, there's a lot of exciting things going on. If we go ahead and look at, it says, what is Moca Chain, we can see that they have a whole entire article talking about what is Moca Chain and what you need to know. It's a purpose-built layer 1 for identity and for data. And if we look at exactly what Moca Chain is and all of the details about it, it has some pretty practical applications. We can see on their website, they talk about how the impact of Moca Chain and its L1 blockchain, what it's going to have on different sectors. So we can see if we scroll down a little bit, it talks about finance, healthcare, education, gaming, and wellness. And so if we look at this, for example, in healthcare, and with what Mocaverse is doing, you can prove your insurance or vaccination status without having to show the whole file. This is something that's very important because you could just show a ZK proof of insurance eligibility, you could get an instant hospital check-in without paperwork, and prove medical credentials as a provider. This is something that is going to fast track the entire healthcare system, like fast track care delivery without exposing personal health records. Make sure everything stays more safe, secure, and is faster. In addition to this, you can look at in terms of job boards and credentials. You can ultimately apply to jobs, grants, or bounties with verified credentials, and you don't have to resend PDFs multiple times or LinkedIn screenshots. You took a Solidity course, worked for a DAO, contributed to GitHub, and Moca can turn that into a portable work identity for issuing credentials. That's something that is very, very exciting and important. In addition to this, also for ads and personalization, advertisers want to know what you like, but they don't need to know all your private info. So with this, you can prove you are a crypto gamer who plays, let's say, games for 100 plus hours, and you can get targeted deals and perks without having to leak your wallet or name. And so it's privacy preserved, but still personalized. And it does this for all of these different sectors, really for everything in the tech world. Moca Chain is really streamlining everything. Like it says, streamline credit checks, lending, and onboarding with private proof of income and assets. For education, earn broader recognition and opportunities through verified learning and skill credentials, gaming, wellness, etc., etc. So ultimately, this is something that is very exciting in my opinion because with identifications and like these different use cases that we're seeing, there is a massive market for it. The global KYC and digital ID market is projected to be $38 billion by 2028. And there's a ton of use cases for eKYC for DeFi and for proof of age or access credentials and passports. And so that's why they have so many partners already that are going to ultimately help build their end-to-end identity stack to reach 700 million plus users. So again, very exciting. Next thing I want to go over is going to be for potential on-chain verifications with Moca. So like I said, Mocaverse and their native token Moca is doing some pretty exciting things. If we go ahead and take a look at their X, they talk about all of these different things, but one thing in particular is with Moonmath. Moonmath is 100 million plus verifications per year at a 50 cents average cost. So it's $50 million annual Moca demand. That's going to help the price of the Moca coin really increase in value and appreciate long term. If we take a look at Moca Chain and look at the total addressable users right now, 700 million users, you can see that this shows how easy it's going to be for Moca Chain to create value long term, because right now, if you imagine there's 10% of users generate different credentials like proof of age, proof of license, on-chain CV credentials per year, that's going to be 70 million plus verifications per year. And if you times that by 50 cents average cost, that's $50 million annual Moca demand from on-chain credential generation. And then it's easy to scale up because Animoca Brands has 540 plus companies. And that is something that is going to be throughout different sectors like entertainment, healthcare, finance, and a lot more. You can see that with this, they are going to be able to expand into partnerships with like employers verifying skills, health apps verifying patient history, fintechs verifying KYC once, then reusing it across a bunch of different decentralized applications. And so really just more users, which right now 700 million plus users, more users leads to more credentials leads to more qualified users, and that leads to more apps and users who join them, and then it's going to lead to more verification leading to higher Moca consumption. It's really just a flywheel effect that is going to continuously help create value for Moca Chain and the entire Moca network. The last thing I do want to talk about is going to be with job boards, credentials, freelance, and HR tech. So right now, like LinkedIn, Indeed, Upwork, GitHub, there are like Web3 jobs, and all of them equal 100 billion plus in combined hiring ecosystem. And so the cool thing is that with Moca Chain and what they're doing, on-chain CVs, course completion credentials, and verified credentials shared across companies and DAOs. So all of these are creating so much value for Moca and its entire ecosystem. There's so many use cases in the Web3 space, in the Web2 space, and there's just a lot of exciting things to talk about. So ultimately, I think Moca Network is going to kickstart the identity meta. We've seen Good Intelligence talk about and predict that the verifiable credentials market will surpass $20 billion by 2030, driven by employment, healthcare, and finance. LinkedIn has already rolled out identity verification to combat impersonation and fraud. Instagram now requires age verification for creator content to be indexed on Google. And then in Web3, we're already starting to see a good reputation is an advancement for favorable opportunities like pre-sales, ICOs, partnerships, and influencer deals. So ultimately, keep an update on what's going on with Mocaverse over on their X page. They're always rolling out major updates and announcements, and you're definitely not going to want to miss out on what is coming next.